This is a resume of a project manager, which I don't get a lot of these, but I actually used to recruit project managers, made a placement with them. So I am familiar with them. And what we're going to be looking for is that you've communicated cross-functionally, that you've multitasks. Well, it's really more less multitask and more completed multiple projects at the same time under budget and uh, ahead of schedule. So that's what we're going to look for: under budget, ahead of schedule, managing multiple projects. Stakeholders, clients, those are words that we want to see. And my brain just stopped there. And industry knowledge is going to be specific. Like if you're in IT, you want a little IT stuff. But if you have a PMP cert, put that up there. PMP is amazing. And this is less a keyword, but more of a qualification. But why the project succeeded? Because of your leadership. So what you did. So accomplished technical project manager with years experience making and delivery administrator within IT and biotechnology sector, leveraging skills and agile project management methodology with a track record of improving workflow. Okay, so here's the thing: you have the right keywords here, and you were correct. Most summary sentences, unless they are under the project, are useless. Because you didn't say how you did this. You just listed a bunch of stuff. So let's look at the actual JD. Here, this needs to be the month. This absolutely needs to be the month. If you are, unless you've been at a company for like 10 years, your dates need to all have the month with the exception of college or certificates. But you always need the months. Absolutely 100%. Because right now, this can kind of look like you started there in December 2022 and you're looking for a job now, which is going to lower the amount of time they may have assumed. So have the months. Generated over 7 million revenue through the delivery of an R&D SaaS solution and data migration to global clientele. Coordinated cross-functional teams, including IT engineering. Yeah, this is solid. Despite my earlier problems with the rest of part of the resume, this is a very, very good sentence. I really, really like this. Streamlined internal revenue recognition by leading an agile-driven team. Perfect. To develop a reporting tool, reducing man reporting time to 59. This should be a comma, not a period. No bullet points should be one sentence, even if they are specifically a run-on sentence. That's okay. It can be a run-on sentence, it can be a long sentence, but it needs to be one sentence. Oversaw development and feedback cycles to ensure project reliability. Okay. Successfully implemented over 500 as a managing deliverable scope budget. Yeah, this is good. And smart sheets. Is there a keyword you did not mention? That's good. Achieved appointment of your growth, portfolio building SaaS initiative of your work. I would maybe just have something with stakeholders in here. But yeah, I like this. Don't really have a lot of complaints. Yeah, this is fine. This you could just put when you graduate. You don't have to do how long you were in it. This is not as needed, but since this is specifically a technical manager role and not actually the coder themselves, I think you can get away with that. I like the resume. I think this part is a little unneeded, and maybe you could add just stakeholders somewhere here, but overall, besides this, those are minor quibbles. I can see why. So for the record, they got 100 applications to 3, which is really solid. So yeah, I can see why. Your bullet points are phenomenal. In fact, that's why I don't like this is blah, but these are great. And it takes me time to read this, and I want to be reading this, and this is great. I can 100% see. Like I said, I think you just need to do a couple of minor tweaks, and we might even get that ratio even better. But yeah, good resume overall. Like minor quibbles. I don't want to be like, but like pretty solid. So now let's move on to the next one. This is a software engineer resume. Full stack? I don't actually know if this is full stack or not. I looked very briefly and I think it's full stack. So when you're ever submitting your resume for a tech position like this, IT tech, make sure your tech stack and it is clear if you are going to be full stack, back end, or front end, and your main or primary languages. So for full stack, what it would be is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, any of the cloud. Also, any SQL, like you had NoSQL or MySQL, that should be fine as well. And then Agile, and some of them want an extra language, such as like Python, C, or Java. And I feel like there is one more that I'm missing, but these should be the generalized ones. And based on the fact that you have 250 applications to one interview, I'm expecting to see some issues with this. So formatting is okay, I guess. I read this as Roshi for a second. I'm like, the Dragon Ball Z character Master Roshi? What? But no, Rosh. Yeah. So bachelor's of information checking, that's fine. Bachelor's, that's fine. These can be, this can be on one line. I don't think you need to have this be 4 lines. This can be 2 lines total. So full stack web developer part time. That is expected because you were going to college. Developed a full stack web application for a story in hotel managing, and no. You cannot do this as a IT person, full stack or otherwise. You need to say developed a blank, in this case full stack, that part is fine. Full stack web application in or using TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, where we managed an end-to-end project delivery in an environment of SQL and AWS that was agile, right? Specifically, keywords are critically more important, even than other resumes where they're already very important for IT tech. You need to have your tech stack peppered throughout the entire resume. The problem is a lot of people have too much of the wrong ones, but these are the primary ones you're going to be looking for. At least I think if it's full stack. I mean, if you're doing a Python backend, it's going to be different than a Java backend or a full stack. So, but yeah, utilize Next.js for front-end development and Superbase. See, this part is fine. Used, you don't have to say utilize. You can just say used. Used Next.js for future development and simply for database using all. I prefer more, truthfully, a little bit more, but you know, you still had it. So transition ideas for online ticket system, that's okay, but you didn't say what you used for this. Yeah, this is why you're having an issue, right? Like you're not, it is, especially for tech and IT, it is critically keyword based for most of them, especially like entry level and mid level. And once you get to the leadership ones, you can kind of get away with not having as much because they're kind of expecting you to be more of like a leader than necessarily. But like, you need this stuff in your resume. I cannot move forward with this because there's nothing here for me to move. Right? Like this doesn't count. It cannot be at the very bottom. Does not count. Needs to be in bullet points. Needs to be in these bullet points. Please resubmit, and you know, we review it again. Although admittedly this is maybe in Australia, and I've never been to Australia. I don't know how to recruit in Australia. I don't know the meta of recruitment in Australia. I just know IT recruitment in the United States. So, and there is more to it than just keywords. I want to be clear. If someone's like, well, hold on, Lee, I'm a recruiter. I'm like, I'm trying to explain it because not everybody necessarily knows the ins and out or how the sausage is made, but it is primarily used for as the keywords and qualifications. So I'm gonna have to reject this, Rosh. I think I said that right, hopefully. And you know, always feel free to resubmit it. Let's go to the next video. This is a resume of a data analyst. So what we're going to be looking for is going to be Power BI, Excel, VLOOKUPs, index matches, anything that is basically advanced Excel. We're going to be looking for SQL, Tableau, whatever you pronounce it. Data visualization is going to be huge, along with, and this is more of a qualification than a keyword, but you are going to need to describe it, that you've done it in your resume, is going to be how you explained technical and non-technical topics to people that don't know what you know. And you need to have done that concisely and quickly and be able to basically explain tough topics to people that have no clue but are probably going to be stakeholders or clients or customers, depending on which one you're going to call them. In addition, it's nice to have, but not all the jobs wanted this, which is AI or cloud along with Python and R. So that would be a bonus, but the last line is not necessary for everything. So for this role, let's look at the resume. Performed exploratory data analysis on 10K service requests using SQL and Python. Good. Immediately have SQL and Python. Identifying key patterns in customer behavior systems that reduced processing time by 30%. So that is not a bad first sentence. I'm going to be a little picky on it though, is that you have to explain why why that was important, right? Like, what processing time for what? What did that lead to? 10,000 requests? Is that a lot? I don't know. I've never used SQL. So, again, those are sort of nitpicky because you did have SQL and it was pretty good. But let's go to the next one. Designed and prepared ETL pipelines using Java, Apache Spark, and SQL to consolidate service data from 4 carrier systems. Revamped an automated anomaly detection system using statistical methods to identify outliers in network performance. No, conducted data quality monitoring for resolving it. Okay, I don't care. I mean, you had me in the first bit, but you don't have like any of the other ones, and that's going to be probably why people are not going to have you go forward. It's great that you have SQL and it's great that you have Python, but I need more. Where is the Excel? Where's the data visualization? Where's the explaining the complex topics? To anybody else, I don't see any of that, and I'm pretty sure the manager is going to want to see that in the resume. Design ended using SQL, PHP, and HTML. We're not looking for PHP and HTML. A/B testing, I actually didn't see. Underachieving an R1. Cool, this means nothing. I don't know what this is right here. Did predictive models, develop Tableau. Why I should not. This right here, this alone could get you a job. That should not be all the way down here where a recruiter can miss it. This needs to be higher up somehow. So, yeah, I really only see like 3 things that I'm looking for. This needs to be in the bullet points. You cannot have it off in the corner. And this, but you do have SQL, so I'm not going to do that. But like, I need Excel. I know it's basic. I know you know it's basic, but like, we need Excel. There's no other way to say this than you need those basic things in your resume. I need Excel. I need Power BI. I need Tableau. I need data visualization that is not at the very bottom. I need that you've explained tech. I need that maybe you've used cloud and AI. I do see a little Python, and that's good. And this, because this right here is okay as a bullet point, but the rest of this, besides the ETL and the SQL, gives me nothing. So I don't know if I could move you forward. If we had not a lot of competition, I would probably try and move you forward to the hiring manager. But if we have like 300 applicants or something, I don't think the manager would go for this. So you need to improve it. You need Excel. I know it is basic. I know that everybody's like, well, it's obvious that I should have it. If it's obvious that you should have it in your resume and it's not in your resume, then you need to put it in your resume. That is the rule. So maybe I could move forward because you did have SQL and you did have Python and you did have ETL, but probably not. So let's move on to the next resume. The last resume for this video is going to be someone that we actually already viewed. They stated in the resume, disregard the last resume, but I didn't see that in time. So we already reviewed him and we're going to review him again. So let's see the differences between the resumes. They are going to be looking for a software engineer position, as per usual, when people do not tell me if it's back-end, front-end, full stack, or alternatively, what your primary tech stack is. I just have to put question marks for the things. So let's look at this. All right. So this is one that was in Australia, and you currently have about 250 to 1 application ratio to interview, which isn't good, but it's market's tough. And again, US recruiter. So let's look at what this is. We do have right now I remember. So yeah, this will be pretty quick, and we're gonna end it. But I don't see any keywords for anything. I expect that this was specifically the full stack. I need to see the full stack. I need to see TypeScript, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. Yes, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS are basic. Yes, I need them. We have Next.js. That is good, because you still need JavaScript, even if JS stands for JavaScript. I hate the naming conventions. Integrated various APIs. That's solid. I mean, you're just missing your tech stack for this one. And the resume as a whole is just a little bit busy. Yeah, look, you just need more of your tech stack, right? Like that's my issue with this. This stuff needs to be in here. Although I do like that this is shrinking. Also, you have way too many, just way too many foldings, and the formatting is a little hard to read. That's not a huge issue, but like as an example, since IT is still in a downturn in the US. You want every advantage you can get, and that minor thing of your formatting being a little off might cause a recruiter to just move on to the next one since they have a lot of applicants. In a very good market, this formatting wouldn't really matter as much, but it's not a good market for IT and tech. So here I'm gonna pop in my own format that I've been over a couple times, and let me explain the difference between the two. So if you look at this, even though it's a little cut off, this is how it should be. This should be bolded. This should be bolded. This should be bolded. This should not be bolded. But if you look at this, everything's bolded. Everything's bolded. Education, bold. Monash University, bold. This, italicized. This, bolded. Then, normal. Different formatting. Just here's how you do your formatting, all right? Very quick. This 14-point font. Everything should be Arial. Every font should be Arial. There's like one or two others that work, but Arial is the best in my mind. So this should be bolded, 14-point font. This should be 12 font. And everything else should be 10.5. 10.5, 10.5. This should be bolded, not this. This should be bolded. This should be italicized. This should not be bolded. And ignore this. I actually got to change this. People haven't been using it right, which is my fault as a teaching. So just use the keywords and bullet points. But this is the formatting I want this to look at. And look, this is way harder to get the information that I need instead of this. The recruiter will spend more time on your resume if it's easier to read. The longer they have to search, the worse your chances are. So that is it for this video. Not the stream, still streaming. So do not leave chat if you're in it. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. Like, the algorithm is an unkind beast, and anything you can do to help me out, spread the word of free resume reviews, I would love to review more resumes. So later, y'all.